A quick one before our live stream starts. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we go live there every day trading the markets, covering world news, and talking through setups in real time. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next session.
Still doom scrolling? Brain rot taking over? You'll focus tomorrow, right? But what if tomorrow never comes? What if it all started with one small choice? The world won't wait for you. Opportunity is moving right now. One decision is all it takes to shift your momentum. Fuel your mind and watch possibilities open up. Small wins stack up, focus sharpens, growth begins. Everything changes the moment you focus. Lock in and make the switch today. Bring your ambition into focus. Trade with Switch Markets.
Are you still trading everything manually? More traders are moving to automation, running strategies 24/7, removing emotion, and staying consistent. Now with Switch Markets, you've got the tools to build and run your own automated trading systems, so your strategy delivers even when you're asleep.
Meet Switch Markets, a broker for ambitious people who want to trade the financial markets.
You mean that I can trade things like Forex, stocks, even gold with you?
Yes, you can even trade the coffee bean market with us.
What about digital currencies? Can I trade them too?
Absolutely. Maybe now's your time to get in.
Oh, and are you regulated?
Yes, we are.
And how easy is it to deposit and withdraw? Will you charge me any fees?
It's easy. Deposit and withdraw instantly. Nice and simple. And unlike that guy, we won't grab any fees from you.
Do you have a low spread trading account?
We certainly do. Pick from our zero commission or our low spreads account. It's up to you.
Okay then, what makes you so different from every other broker out there?
Our 5-star rated real human customer support and our perks package worth thousands. No other broker can beat it.
So, who did you say you were again?
Switch to success. Trade with Switch Markets.
Getting started in trading shouldn't be complicated. You can open an account, get set up, and be ready to go pretty quickly. Now, if you've been thinking about it, take a look. Click the link in the description below. You can even start with a free demo account.
In trading, like climbing, the hardest step is to pause, hold, and trust your position. Ambition pulls you forward. Focus keeps you steady. Together, they take you higher. Bring your ambition into focus. Switch Markets.
Already trading with another broker? Fair enough. But if you haven't looked around lately, you might be missing out. Now, Switch Markets is picking up awards, offering tools most brokers don't, and their support actually shows up. It might be time for you to switch to Switch Markets. Click the link in the description below to get started today.
Discipline starts before the first punch is thrown. Focus sharpens in silence. Repetition builds control. Every movement prepares you for the fight ahead. Trading isn't luck. It's preparation. It's grit. Your fight is won long before the bell even rings. Champions trade with Switch Markets. It's time to bring your ambition into focus.
Are you still with the same broker? Now, there are better options out there. There's more tools, better support, and a platform built for traders. It's time that you demand more from your broker. Take a look at Switch Markets. Hello, everyone. I'm Shane Vernier, and welcome to SpaceX Live. Today, we're going to cover the SpaceX IPO, one of the biggest financial events in history, and we've got some great breaking news for you that I want to get right out and cover. Switch Markets, during the overnight, reached out to its clients, sent me an email and said, hey, we're going to be trading SpaceX today. We've got SpaceX CFD that's going to be available on the MT5 platform via Switch Markets. So be sure to head on over if you want to get in on the action and actually get in on one of the biggest financial events that we've probably ever seen. I hate to overhype something, but I got to tell you, this is a big one. We're going to cover everything you need to know about this IPO today. I'm going to lay out exactly some of the other stocks we need to watch, and then also maybe a few strategies that we can break down a bit later in the session. Now, we're not necessarily sure when this is going to drop, so this may be our first stream of many today. We are going to give you complete coverage here on Switch Markets on YouTube. Also, if you're watching us on the howtotrade.com YouTube channel or Forex Signals TV, be sure to check back in throughout the trading day, because when the action does kick off, I fully plan to go live and maybe do a little bit of trading, throw some strategies on it, maybe look at the SpaceX in the real short term. Now, this is the email that was really blown out to everybody. If you're a client of Switch Markets, be sure to check out your Trader's Toolbox, and you can see, Dear Trader, we are pleased to announce the launch of a new stock CFD on our MT5 platform. SpaceX, ticker symbol SPCX.US, will become available for trading on Friday, 12th of June, coinciding with its anticipated IPO date. Now, this is the day that it's going to drop. We just don't know when it's going to start trading. So right now, your charts are going to be blank, but that's okay. They will fire up as soon as this thing goes live on the Nasdaq. So we're watching closely. Trading conditions, margin requirement, 50%. Margins, significant. Maximum volume limit, 300 shares. What that means is you are going to be going for a major ride today. As one of the highly anticipated IPOs in recent years, SpaceX is expected to attract significant market attention and volatility. Why are the margins a little bit higher than maybe some of your Forex pairs or your other CFDs? Volatility, volatility, volatility. Now, a lot of folks are going to go, oh, the margins. Believe me, the margins are there not only to take care of the broker, but to take care of you. This day is unpredictable. We don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to show you some historical data from Meta. The Meta drop back in 2012. I was there for that, and it was an interesting day. A lot of people lost a lot of money intraday. We're not going to lose money today. We're going to take a good look at the environment. We're going to sort out the demand. We're going to look at some other related stocks, and then we're going to make some smart decisions when it comes to one of the biggest potential feeding frenzies for a share offering that I've ever seen. So this is going to be the first of many IPOs this year that are scheduled. Anthropic's got one, OpenAI's got one, and a lot of people see this SpaceX IPO as being sort of the litmus test for where the entire sector, the AI sector, and also basically anything that's on the cutting edge, how much money's out there for big tech. We're going to find out today. So this is going to be an interesting type of a day. I don't get too excited very often. You know, I was talking to a trader yesterday that lives a little bit up north where I live here in the United States. But I said, hey, when you're inside of a trade, how are you feeling? Accomplished trader, somebody who has their game together, says, I don't feel anything anymore. I don't feel anything. I don't feel any emotion. I don't get excited. I don't get up. I don't get down. I call that going cold. So go cold today. Watch the price action. Don't get caught up in the frenzy. Don't feel like you're going to miss out. FOMO's a killer. No FOMO today. We're going to be smart. We're going to be measured. And when it comes time to cash in and capitalize, we're going to capitalize, maybe not as investors, but as short-term traders. So we've got a lot of folks out there in YouTube land. Good to see everybody out there. Too many to name. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm here in small town Dillon, Montana, very early in the morning, but money never sleeps. So that's life. We go where the cash is. So welcome, everyone. A lot of familiar faces out there. Kelvin, good to see you. Welcome. Let's see, Lewis. All right, Lewis, good to see you. Elk C, looking forward to this. Me too, Elk. Plakey, good day from down under again, Shane. Good to see you, Plakey. Welcome. Volatility, Elk, absolutely. Let me see, Smokey. Hello, Switch. Hello, Smokey. How are you? Doing very well here. Like your energy, Elk. Well, I mean, I'm wired. I mean, let's just be honest. I trade for the action. Money, yeah, money's, you got to enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy what you do, there's no point even showing up. But I'm definitely interested. I'm switched on today and ready to go. Let's see, Tina, good to see you. Tina Xing, welcome. Over there in our How to Trade community, Tuku, always a pleasure, Tuku. And to everybody else in our room that have been longtime members. Remember, if you ever want to contact me directly, head on over to howtotrade.com, open a free account, send me a private message. Tell me what you think. If you like my tie, if you hate my shirt, go ahead and let me know whatever you think of the streams. And also, these streams are an interactive trading experience. We've got a lot to cover, but if you have a question, be sure to ask. Absolutely be sure to ask. A couple rules on my streams if you've never tuned in before. Number one is if I don't know the answer, I'm not going to sit here and BS you. And number two, if it makes money, it is the right answer. So I want to welcome everybody back. Yeah, so this is basically where we're at here. SpaceX is not launched yet. So this is over on TradingView. You can see there's no data here. Hope it'll appear on the chart soon. We haven't begun trading yet. So what you have right now is really a world that is sort of waiting. We're waiting for that shoe to drop, and we're very, very interested in what's going to happen when this actually hits the open market. Now, there's a few things that are going on right now that we can look at. Nasdaq 100 futures. I mean, this is the CFD based on the futures contracts. We're up about 0.25%. Somewhere in that neighborhood. So optimistic on this release. We believe it's going to bring value to big tech. Meta is something we're going to talk a lot about here in a little while. I'm going to draw the parallels between SpaceX and Meta and how sometimes these IPOs aren't necessarily a slam dunk, but maybe a great play over the long term. Tesla's, of course, it's in that Elon Musk tree of companies. We're going to talk a little Musk here in a minute, but you can see this long-term trend line is one that I'm really watching. Now, in the pre-market, Tesla is up at about 402. So we broke up above that 400 threshold, traded 399 yesterday. Now we're up at 402. Does the positive sentiment from SpaceX spill over into Tesla? Maybe not. Maybe there's a little drag. Maybe Tesla comes off. I love Tesla from our lower trend line, though. This is a big monthly trend line. You'll notice that it just blows right through this price point. These two rejected the trend line, closed above it, and this is a long-term trend line, monthly trend line. What would the bid be potentially today? 375? 365, somewhere down in there. Love it. I would absolutely love a pullback in Tesla today. SATS, this is going to be EchoStar Corporation. This has been a highly active satellite company that is sort of in the same, I won't say the same sector as SpaceX, but it's definitely in the same ballpark. So we start talking about something like an EchoStar Corporation. Why is it up? Well, if you're a satellite corporation, maybe SpaceX gives you a cheaper way to get your satellites into space. Who knows? What I'm saying is this ecosystem is going to get large, and the fallout from this kind of wealth that's generated today from SpaceX, there's going to be a lot of folks riding those coattails, and SATS could be one of them. You can see, look at the pre-market. Closed at 128 yesterday, 135 today in the pre. A lot of volatility, a lot of action. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. I love the action. All right, right here, RK, Rocket Lab Corporation. This is a competitor. Now, this is on the flip side of maybe a Tesla or a SATS. Take a look at this chart. Nobody really knows what to do. You've got a weekly doji pre-market. We closed yesterday at 114. Pre-market's at 118. Let's take this right down to a daily. What do we have? Pretty good rally yesterday. The rally continues today. RKLB is a direct competitor to SpaceX. What do you think SpaceX can do if they're well capitalized? Consolidation. What did Microsoft do? What do all the big tech companies, what do? They buy up competition. Google, fantastic. Is RKLB a potential buyout? Potentially. There are no rules in finance, guys. It's just creativity. And believe me, it doesn't get much more creative than Elon Musk and the team over there at SpaceX. EuroCAD, this is a trade we have going. Fantastic trade. A little bit of Forex flavor for you. We're going to cover that one later. I'll recap that one. And any other markets you really want to talk about towards the end of the stream, more than happy to take a look at some of the war stuff. We'll do it. We'll do it in due time. But today, it really is all about big tech. So, all right, here we go. SpaceX, still waiting for the data to drop. You can see that these numbers, we're all over the board here with what exactly we can expect out of what is going to be one of the biggest drops pretty much of all time. So we're looking right there. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation from the Nasdaq, SPCX. You'll be hearing a lot about that. Now we're still waiting. We're still waiting for our SpaceX to drop over there on MT5. When it does drop, we will certainly get you the data out and maybe talk a little bit of trading. So there's a lot going on. We haven't even talked about Starlink or some of the other companies that are in the Musk family. We're going to talk about some of the bullish market drivers that build the case for the long-term investiture. And we're also going to talk about exactly the process for today. I'm watching my tote boards. I'm watching for a big move out of the Nasdaq. I think when we're looking at the Nasdaq and trying to figure out exactly when this thing drops, I'm sort of watching for some extra volatility, maybe some extra volume in that NAS 100 because, SpaceX is going to be a major, major driver today. We just got to wait and see exactly what happens. So let me see. Tina, nice shirt and tie. Thank you. Got all dressed up for you guys. Sure. Let me see. Elk. I assume it comes out in an hour and a half hour to an hour. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to cover that for you because there really is no clear answer on that. So let's run through our fundamentals real quick. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask. We don't know, Elk. I saw a report earlier today that I'm going to show you that says maybe during the mid-session, there are no rules, guys. There seriously are no rules. This is going to be an open auction. And what an auction is means I'm going to bid, you're going to bid, you're going to sell, I'm going to bid, I'm going to sell, you're going to bid. However long it takes the market makers to line up those buys and sells is exactly how long it's going to take for this thing to go live. Packham, good to see you. Packham, welcome. Did you meet with the Wolf of Wall Street during your physical trading days? I met somebody who thought they were the Wolf of Wall Street, and that was my mentor, my Uncle Gary Vernier. He was a player. He was a player on the oil markets on Wall Street. Some of the stories those guys could tell from the late 80s and 90s, some of the stories. Well, he didn't live, he wasn't like the Wolf of Wall Street lifestyle-wise, but he definitely, talking about the restaurants, talking about the lifestyle, some of the other pit traders I got to talk to, oh, man. It's worth actually just putting that stuff into a book because it's a lot of fun. Smart ambiguity. Well, Elk, it's tough. It's really tough because you don't know when this is going to drop, and that's going to be a real challenge, especially for intraday traders or maybe people that are going to scalp. You're just going to have to stay tuned, right? That's the idea. Okay, let's get to it. SpaceX IPO, the biggest market event in space. Interesting stuff. Elon Musk. I don't have an Occupy Mars shirt. I just had to go with a suit and tie, but maybe I'll get one. If we do well enough scalping this thing today, maybe I'll get one. You can see that this was really the thing of the week. This was the event. We had CPI Wednesday. That was a lot of fun covering that live. ECB interest rate decision yesterday. That was fun, but honestly, compared to this, it's Dullsville. We know about inflation. Inflation's high. We know rates are going up. We already know all that. We don't know how this IPO is going to behave, and that's what it's going to make it a lot of fun. This is the news of the day. So essentially what happened last night is the institution sat down and they put the float out there. They were looking for a 135 per share. Now, just because it went for 135 per share last night to institutions, when they sat down and they started making the market between, JP Morgan and Goldman and Sachs and all these big players, just because it went for 135 last night does not mean it's going to open at 135 today. I want to be very, very, very clear about that. Very clear. We don't necessarily know where it's going to open. Some people may get in at 135, but if the retail demand is as strong as they say it is, this thing could open at anything. So we're looking at finalizes IPO at 135 per share. That's essentially what the banks decided to do today. SpaceX price of shares 135 in the largest IPO ever, 75 billion in the bag, which is the largest by far. Live updates, they're all over the internet. Feel free to check some of them out if you'd like. We're going to be covering this price action live though. Essentially, what people are looking at tomorrow, I took this last night, IPO opening price versus the 135 offering. Remember, the 135 offering is what the insiders got. Okay, that's what JP Morgan, that's Jamie Dimon. That's what Jamie Dimon got. He said, okay, Jamie, we're going to give you, here's X amount of our float. We'll give it to you for 135. Did Jamie take it? More than likely, yeah, they all snapped it up. Does that mean that the price goes higher or lower today on the open market? We don't know. It's all about demand. It is all about demand. So there's a lot of reasons to believe that there's huge demand for this. We're going to find out. Whether institutional buyers or retail buyers drive early trading. Now, just because you're an institution doesn't mean that you were in on the juice. It doesn't mean that you got in on the action. Just because I'm a bank, I'm a regional bank. Maybe, in the old days, it was like Wachovia was a big player. They're now bankrupt and defunct. But if I'm a regional bank, maybe I didn't get in on the float. Maybe I wasn't good enough friends with Musk, or I didn't have the right ends. Those folks are going to be bidding and selling right along with us on the open. So be aware of that. Spillover effects into AI, aerospace, and momentum. A lot of people are going to be watching for signs. You're going to hear Sam Altman out there. You're going to hear Anthropic weigh in. You're going to hear OpenAI weigh in. These are people that want to launch some of the biggest IPOs of all time based on the AI bubble, per se. All right. SpaceX is a litmus test of that. So everybody's watching AI. They're watching Google. We're going to give you 10 stocks or 5 stocks right now you could be watching throughout the day. Now, whether money rotates out of the mega cap tech to fund SpaceX purchases, excuse me, that means does everything else in the tech sector go down to potentially finance positions in SpaceX? I've been saying that for a week. I think the recent weakness in the Nasdaq is people that are selling, potentially liquidating hedge fund positions, mutual fund positions, ETF positions to buy some SpaceX. Sometimes we got to disagree with CNBC. They said that the big sell-off last week was because of chips. Everybody's selling chips. Yeah, because the profits have been huge in the chip sector. Now they're looking for the next thing. From chips, does it go to SpaceX? Does it go to Anthropic? Does it go to OpenAI? It's all a big question right now. Nobody knows, and that's what makes it fun. As a trader, if nobody knows what something's worth, we can win. We can win. That gives us a chance. All right, so whether money rotates out of the mega cap tech, that's big for me. I'm going to be watching the other tech stocks very closely. If they go down and SpaceX goes up, it's the dawn of a new day. And that money maybe flows out of traditional tech, maybe things like chip makers that are just now on the scene in the last couple of years. Maybe it goes from there right into this AI, and a lot of folks are really equating SpaceX with AI. I'm not ready to do that because SpaceX actually builds physical materials, builds physical things. It's going to be interesting to watch, so it really is fascinating. Okay, top 5 stocks that can move on a SpaceX IPO. Now, I didn't put this list together myself. I went to AI. I'm doing what pretty much the entire world's doing right now. Do I agree with this list? A little bit. We've already covered Tesla. Google's a big one. And Google is a major investor in SpaceX. They also potentially have a major interest in building data centers. And we're going to talk about probably the number one market driver for SpaceX in a little bit, and that could be data centers in space. Rocket Labs, RKLB, I think it's a prime takeover candidate. I really do. Down the line, we could definitely see that. The ASTS, Space Mobile, we could look at that stock as well. SATS, EchoStar Satellite, we already looked at that one as well. We looked at those two yesterday. So that's essentially where we're at with our basic look at a hot list of stocks that may in fact be sort of impacted greatly. Now, here's just a little bit of flavor what we're looking at while we're waiting for this thing to drop. I mean, I'm not seeing it anywhere yet. I don't believe it's going to drop until the mid-session. I'm going to be watching it closely, but if it does drop and they start trading it, we will definitely be looking in, right? After record IPO, Musk's SpaceX faces next text and market debut. So, already raised to $75 billion. Set for Nasdaq debut after $75 billion IPO breaks Aramco's 2019 record. Saudi Aramco, oil company, Middle East, man, that opens another can of worms. We're going to have to talk about that later some other time. IPO values SpaceX at $1.77 trillion. Some worry about the lofty valuation. Here's the thing, $75 billion. All right, you've got $75 billion right here, $1.7 trillion. The absolute catalyst for innovation is money. The bottom line is this. If I want to do something and I have backers, we go do it. Whether it functions properly or works or not, we deal with that down the line. But if there's money involved, you have a real chance. There's a lot of money involved. Now, Saudi Aramco is an oil company. Everybody wanted to bet on oil. Everybody bets on oil. Everybody bets on petroleum, right? This is a little bit different. It's been a long road for SpaceX to see this kind of money come into what looks to be the next frontier of finance that may not even be on this planet. It's fascinating. 1.77 trillion. Some worry about the lofty valuation. Yeah, whatever. I mean, are we worried about it? A pullback? I'm going to show you that it's possible here in a second. A debut expected to be a test appetite ahead of marquee listings from OpenAI and Anthropic. Yeah, we already know that. Okay, so set to begin trading today at some point. Musk is going to become a trillionaire, the first one ever. And you can see right here, a lot of volatility. Yeah, we already know that. We covered that. Stock's performance will be the test for the Musk premium. That doesn't apply here, in my opinion. We have to go back 100 years to get a comparable entrepreneur. So everybody loves Elon Musk right now. They won't like him so much if these shares tank today, but it's going to be fascinating. This is the key, and this is why I highlighted this article right here. Exchanges and underwriters are under pressure to demonstrate that they can handle the listing's extraordinary order volumes and avoid a repeat of the technical failures that marked Meta's debut. I was there. I saw exactly what Meta was back in 2012, and this essentially is what happened. Meta Platforms, basically Facebook, went public on May 18th, 2012. Bad times in the States. Bad. I mean, the times were tough. They were arguing whether they should even go public, given the state of the economy in 2012. Opened at 42, closed at 38. Now, during the pre-market, before this thing launched, number one, everybody was saying 80. Everybody was saying 100, maybe 90, 95. What happened? The IPO got delayed. I was there waiting for the opening bell, waiting for the bell to ring and this thing to kick off in large order. I was sitting there going, okay, what's going to happen? Very young in my trading career. Didn't know my elbow from a hole in the ground. Had no clue, but I knew price and I knew this thing was supposed to go up. The whole world thought it was going to go up. Didn't go up. All of a sudden, 9:30 a.m., ding, ding, opening bell. Where's Meta stock? Or back then it was Facebook. Where's FB? Where's Facebook at? 10 o'clock, where's Facebook? 10:30, where's Facebook? Are they going to launch this thing? They had a meltdown at the exchange. Couldn't handle the demand. Glitched out. The buys and the sells couldn't get matched. The order matching engines back in 2012 couldn't handle it. Now, this is going to be a great test today. Can the infrastructure, the electronic infrastructure, handle this kind of volume? Well, we're going to see. We're going to find out what happened. It was a dud. I mean, people were jumping out of buildings over this thing. It traded at 42, opened at 42, closed at 38. It was unheard of. It was unheard of for a tech offering of this size to close down on the first day. They were comparing it to the dot-com bubbles back in the 2000s, the Microsofts, these huge monster run-ups in the first 12 hours of trading. Didn't happen. So could this happen today? If we can't service, with all this technology and all these advancements, if we can't service and match these orders, then our markets have real problems. I expect it to come off without a hitch. I think it's more a test of the actual infrastructure of the market than much of anything that has to do with buying and selling. I mean, there's going to be a ton of demand, but we see a ton of demand every day in our futures, Forex, and CFD markets. Let's see if it can handle it. Just because this thing's anticipated to go way high from 135 does not mean that it will. Now, Meta is a great case study, and there's your IPO right there. I was a much younger man then. Much younger. What was I, about 31, somewhere in there? That's a lifetime ago. But this is what happened to Meta. It opened. It was a dud. It actually traded down in the following months, traded way down. Everybody said, oh, this thing's not going to work. There's no demand. And then what happened? Meta took over. Now you're trading up at about 573 in the pre-market. Even Meta's up during the pre-market. Closed at 568 yesterday. Now it's up 573. And that's a major rally. That's called the appreciation of wealth, potentially generational wealth, right? So what exactly is SpaceX going to do? Well, let's take a look at the odds. I always reference polymarket odds because if we're traders, we need to be forward thinking. So what's the opening share price going to be? All right, right now we're pricing about a 70% chance that it's going to be between 150 and 200. Interesting. 150 and 200. Where else could it open? Could it open beneath 150? Only a 5% chance of that. Somebody knows something. We're looking for an opening price, maybe north of 150. That's absolutely staggering. Absolutely staggering. So we're looking for immediate appreciation from 135 to 150. Now, the question becomes this. If you're an institutional trader and you picked up a tremendous float last night, let's say we put $100 million into this, $200 million into this. If this stock runs up to 200 today, do I start dumping? Do I take the profits? Is it a quick 40 or 50% banger? If the institutions start dumping towards the end of the session, what happens to our price? It's going to come down. Is it real? No, it's not real. Right there, odds are, polymarket odds, polymarket traders, 70% chance believe that you're going to see a 150 to 200 opening share price. Man, I would go right here. Take a shot at 5%, that's for sure. Let me see. Amy, anyone there? Hello, Amy. How are you? Anyone there? Can you show the IPO of Spot right in the Nasdaq? Yeah, I can. We're gonna go ahead and do it. It's not out yet. It hasn't dropped just yet. Amy, I'm in Hong Kong. When can I make the order to buy? It's got to open for trade first, Amy. It's got to open for trade first. So be patient. When it opens for trade, when it drops, you'll see the data hit your charts. That's when you can start trading with switch markets. Let's go ahead and check in. Maybe it's already dropped. It's not up yet. It's going to drop. I think it's going to be probably at least another 40 minutes, maybe another hour. So definitely be ready for that. Okay, let me see. Odd Gong, it's probably going for 250. Well, if you believe that, look at 25%. You're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. So it's one of those things where, if you're looking at 25%, I mean, that'd give you a nice little 4-to-1 payoff if you get an open somewhere up around 2 to 250. So the real question is, okay, now that we've got our opening down, we're thinking 150 to 200 is where we're going to open. Where's it going to close at? That's really the question. Where's it going to close at? This is where the debate really comes in. Do the institutions dump this thing if they get a huge run-up early? Does retail bail out if they get a 50% run-up early? It's very, very possible. You can see right here, what's the closing price? 57% say 150 to 200. So we believe the market right now, these big poly market betting things, they believe that 57% chance you're going to close between 150 and 200, 70% chance you're going to open between 150 and 200. It's going to be a big day. It's going to be a big day. What happens if we get an outlier, 2 to 250, 250 plus? Markets aren't always rational. If we start bidding and the bidding comes in hot and heavy, these things can land anywhere. I really, really, really want to stress that. So good stuff right there. I think that you're going to be right in the range. If I had to venture a guess, I don't think it's going to blow way high. I don't. I think you're going to open somewhere around 140, 142 would be my guess. On the record, my prediction, 142 open. We're going to run to 175, 180. Then we're going to come back down. I really like the settlement around 150. If I was going to bet serious capital today, and Shane, pick a range. I hate to be, sort of the odds-on favorite. I would probably take that one, 150 to 200. 150 is a big round number. 100 to 150, though, very possible. I could see a 149 close. Now, the beauty of markets is I could be completely wrong and still make money. That's what I love about it. Manage your risk. Fall back on your technicals. You'll have an opportunity to win. Okay, so that right there is sort of our anticipation, what we're expecting. We've already sort of looked at Meta, the long term. Will SpaceX look like this? Very, very possible. Now, why exactly could SpaceX rally? What could be a potential bullish market driver over time that'll make SpaceX like a Meta that's going to return seriously? At one point, this was trading right around $12 a share, $15 a share. Now it's at 572, and that was only, it was only 14 years ago. You're looking at a massive return. Could SpaceX do the same thing? I believe it could. Here is one of the other markets that I'm looking at here that I think could be a major announcement that comes maybe not this year, maybe next year, maybe when SpaceX needs a little bit of juice to kick that stock in the tail. Maybe they want to increase their float and go looking for more debt. Well, Google, SpaceX agreed to put data centers in space. This is one of the big market drivers for SpaceX, no question about it. If you can build data centers in space, and Musk has already talked about it. He said, hey, listen, you've got the cooling issue solved. You don't have to worry about using water to cool these things. You put it in space, it's cold. We can cool it up there. All right. How can we power it? Solar. Use solar power, direct solar. The whole thing is a match made in heaven. The question is how are you going to get that hardware into space, and how are you going to assemble it, and how are you going to get it functioning as viable data centers? Now, right now, the data center boom has everybody in the Western United States up in arms, where I live. It seems like every piece of bare ground near a water source is saying, hey, listen, we are going to use this land to build data centers, and that the whole industry is exploding. Something like this can get government funding. Something like this could be a major commitment from the U.S. government. It really could be. Government contracts for SpaceX to take data center components into space. In my opinion, this is one of the biggest market drivers out there for SpaceX to the bullish side. If you're looking for an investment that drives it from the IPO all the way up there like Meta, that's definitely one of them. The second thing is consolidation. All right, we already talked about maybe buying some of these smaller companies. How about consolidation within the Musk ecosystem? How about the Tesla consolidating, a merger, Tesla, Starlink? Now what do you have? Now you have a conglomerate. Now, of course, the governments have to go along with it, and the SEC and everybody has to approve this and say, well, it's a monopoly or whatever. Well, whatever. They'll typically work around that if there's enough money involved. Bottom line is, what happens if these things merge? What happens if this company gets so big it gets into the financial services sector? All of a sudden, you're loaning money. All of a sudden, Tesla's writing paper, SpaceX writing paper, Starlink's writing paper. GMAC did it. They went belly up in 2012, but they got into the mortgage company. They got tired. They made so much money building cars that they decided to finance houses. All of this is possible. All of it's possible. Always remember, there are no rules when it comes to money. There's no rules. That's another long-term market driver. Look for consolidation in the industry. SpaceX, once they get enough capitalization, they'll start looking to buy other companies. I guarantee it. That's exactly what they're thinking here. We're going to go ahead and consolidate the industry and grow, similar to a Google. All right, let's go ahead and check in on Google stock. I am interested. That's something we sort of neglected Alphabet Inc., whatever you want to call them. You can see an absolute explosion in price right here. Pre-market, we closed at 356. Now we're trading 359. Not many people know really what to do with it at this juncture. Pretty good rally, though, towards the end of the session yesterday. That all stems from the war being potentially over in the Middle East. I'll believe that when I see it. That's another stream for another time. Nice big rally, though, and then you got the pre-market bounce up around 360, 359. So I'm looking at that for sure. Nasdaq, this is interesting. 1 minute chart, Nasdaq sort of coming off. Let's put up a 30-minute here and see exactly what's going on with the Nasdaq CFDs. Well, I mean, there we have it. Coming off a little bit in the last hour, I have to be honest with you. Nothing's happening here. Definitely just rotation, rectangle. We don't worry about anything in the Nasdaq until the cash open, which is in about 29 minutes. So Nasdaq, is there a trade to be made right now? No. Keep your powder dry and wait. Okay, guys, I got way behind on the live chat. Okay, Anmy, I hope that helps you. Elkie, I like your train of thought. My train of thought's unique. That's for sure. It's unique. It comes from, it's like 1 part experience, 5 parts trial by fire. 6 parts coffee, maybe a little bit of water in there too. Why not? Got to stay hydrated. Let me see. Elk, see, it's a race to whoever wants to start locking in profits early. I agree completely. It's going to be a game of chicken. All right. It's going to be a game of chicken, and that's the way price discovery works. Let's say I buy and I get in early and I bought 150s, and all of a sudden I'm sitting at 200s. What am I going to do? Think about it. Think about it in your terms. Think about it with your capitalization. Let's say you show up with $500, $5,000, or $10,000, and you have a chance to walk away with 30% and do it in just over the course of an hour, hour and a half. What are you going to do? It's a lot of money. 30%, let's say 30% on 10 grand. That's a cool 3 G's. So I'm looking at 3 grand in one day. Do I take the money and either leave it in my account and wait for SpaceX to come back down to a decent price and then buy it back in at 13? That's called compounding your returns. Or do I take the 3,000 and go out to dinner and have a great weekend? And trading and investing are 2 different things. I showed you the meta chart, and everybody just looks at the meta chart and goes, I could have been a millionaire. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Who cares? Why? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Could have been a millionaire. Well, I mean, there's a lottery. I believe there's a lottery tonight here in the United States, Powerball. Go buy a Powerball ticket. Maybe you win, maybe you don't. You can't look at the winning numbers tomorrow and sit around and kick yourself going, oh, I could have won that. Nobody knew that thing was going to blow that high. We laid out the bullish case for SpaceX. Is there a bearish case? 1,000%. Next administration gets in the White House. All of a sudden, SpaceX doesn't get any government contracts. Maybe something happens to Elon Musk. You got a real problem there. It's not necessarily a slam dunk, but in my opinion, this is the next generation of the markets. This is the next generation of finance. This is the beginning of the new world. It really is. We're talking about buying shares in a company that's going to do business in space on a large scale. We're not talking about satellite people. We're not talking about small cap rocket propulsion companies. We're talking about potentially building things in space. It's been done before. Space stations hasn't been done on the scale they're talking about. It's not a new idea, but it's a revolutionary idea, and it's something we definitely would be a fool not to really look at. Still looking at my ticker. No data. It's going to be another hour, probably at least. Let me see, let me see, Tom, good to see you, Tom. What platform can I access? Great question right here, Isaiah. What platform can I access SpaceX? Well, I mean, you brought me full circle. Right here, Switch Markets is offering SpaceX, your CFD. You're going to be looking at SPCX .us. Here's the message. Should be in your trader's toolbox. Switch really got with the program here. This was something we were going back and forth with the back office people. They were saying, it's tough. It's going to be volatile. And a lot of us were really saying, hey, listen, this is a big deal. We need to be a part of it. And it looks to me like Switch Markets has got on board. So you can trade this thing at Switch when it goes live. Now, your margin requirements are going to be large, and your volume limits are, your volumes are limited. And a lot of that is to save the trader from themselves. It's going to be real easy to get swept up in what I'm going to talk about next. It's going to get easy. It's going to be really easy to get swept up in the hysteria. That's for sure. I'm gonna send the Dell service technician to Uranus. Now that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we got to send. Think about it though, Tom. You're not really wrong. I mean, if they build data centers and things in space, you're going to have technicians there, or you're going to have technicians going up on the regular. It's a big, big undertaking. It changes everything. You're basically talking about having an economy existing off-world. It's a big idea. It's a big idea, and that's why Musk is Musk, essentially. PackUp reminds me of how Sony's investment arm became the most profitable part of the company some years ago. It can work for you, and it can work against you. When you have as much money as potentially SpaceX can have, or how much that valuation, then you can definitely get into the financial world and start investing. GMAC did it. GM Motors, General Motors did it. Crashed and burned. They got caught up in the subprime. A lot of people believe it was all a scam. I don't know. I didn't work for them, but I do know that they were handing out money like it was nothing, like it was water. Didn't work for them very well. Should have stuck to building cars. Nasdaq 100, what's it doing? A little bit of a rebound, guys. Stay out of this. Stay out of this Nasdaq right now. You don't want it. Tesla, we're looking at a 398. Okay, we were above 400. Now we're trading down in pre. There's people reading this going, okay, Tesla's down a little bit. I would love to buy Tesla today. That'll be a great trade. 375, 361. If things get crazy, it's very possible. Sats, what's Sats doing? That holding firm at 135. That's a big one. EchoStar Satellite, that's a big dog there. RKLB, Rocket Labs, still trading at a premium over yesterday's close, 117. Interesting stuff. We're going to be watching Google. How's Google doing? Pre-market up about $3. That's nothing. We'll be watching Google closely as well. I think these could be big ones. But right there, there's your SpaceX. Let's see. Got some more questions way behind in the live chat. Trailing stop loss. Elk C calling for 190 to 195 exit. For some reason, it's in my head 175. I see compression between 175 and 150. I really do. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. But boy, the beauty of trading is you don't have to be right to make money. You don't have to be right. So that's absolutely fantastic. Let me see. Hold it for the dividends. Hold it for dividends. I think you mean dividends, Tina. I'm not sure it's a dividend stock yet. We sort of have to graduate into dividends, and if they actually earn money. I don't know if I would be in it for the dividends. I think I would be in it just for the raw speculation, but it's a great point, Tina. The dividends, if there was a merger, if a potentially maybe 5 years down the line a merger, and you got enough of this float at a cheap price, you could probably just live on your dividends. A lot of investors do that. Smart money. Let me see. What's the approx it might go to? Right now, USDC right now at 173. 173. I have 175 in my head. AT, I got 175 in my head. That's what I'm thinking. Let me see. QQQ, if there's a 15-day flipping policy, who is selling the SPC this morning? It's a great question, Seven. We sort of talked about it, and we'll review that real quick because it is very important. What to watch for here. Whether money rotates out of mega cap to fund SpaceX purchases, analysts generally believe the market has enough liquidity to absorb the deal. That ties right into who could potentially be selling. Now, if it's retail sellers, my guess is a majority of the sellers today are going to be retail. There's another group of sellers. You could definitely make the case. The institutions, we talked about it a minute ago, they got it for 135 last night. The institutions are locked in with that $75 billion float. So if they want to start dumping a portion of their holdings, if price goes high enough, if there's enough punters lined up to buy this thing, then they could dump at the end of the session. Absolutely. They could dump in the middle of the session. So we're watching whether it's institutional or retail. The next thing we're going to talk about is sort of a fun thing, but it really is. It's something that we need to think about when it addresses your selling question. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So this is what happened back in the 1990s. Now I grew up. This is when I was in high school, 1997. I graduated, so I'm sort of an old dog. I'm an old head, and that's fine with me. But in the 1990s and early 2000s, Seattle became famous for its Microsoft millionaires. An estimated 10,000 early Microsoft employees. They took stock options. You can see that they got in there, and instead of their bonuses, they took stock options, and Microsoft offered a generous stock options to a large percentage of its workforce, which included administrative and lower tier entry staff, which is absolutely fantastic. So they were the millionaire secretaries. They were celebrated in the media for retiring in their 30s and 40s. Now that happened probably before many of you were even around, even thinking about markets, maybe even born. I remember that. The Microsoft millionaires. Well, today, there's going to be a whole bunch of new millionaires, life-changing money. SpaceX's first employee says historic $1.7 trillion IPO will be life-changing for thousands of workers. This is a pretty good story. SpaceX's first employee, Tom Mueller, will be a life-changing moment. They're having a little party during the pre-market. They're sitting there, they're popping champagne right now, getting ready to make the big dollars, the big ducks. Elon always said that your salary is one thing, but it's the equity that's going to be worth something. And we were all like, yeah, okay, someday. That day is here. It's been a long road, though. How many of us were thinking about SpaceX in 2002? Nobody. They didn't get an actual successful launch until 2008. Mueller, who was hired as SpaceX's first employee in 2002. This has been a 25-year road to this day. So you can see it. You can read the story over there. It's out there. There's a bunch of people that are going to become millionaires today. 2008 was the actual year that we finally made orbit. The fourth flight of Falcon 1 made orbit that year, and it was also when we were just about out of money, and that flight saved us. Out of money. Now, there's some key investors here that invested in SpaceX that kept them afloat when they were pretty much bankrupt, and those investors are going to make a fortune now. So this is sort of one of the good stories that I always look at. So major investors and corporations are waiting. BlackRock placed an order for at least $5 billion in shares, according to the Wall Street Journal. So when we start talking about what it is to be an entrepreneur and what it is to really level up, that's why many of you are here. That's why I'm here. That's why we're looking at the markets. We want to make money. We want to make our lives better. It's entrepreneurial. It's being an entrepreneur in the purest sense. Now, the SpaceX employees, they're all going to walk away richer than they ever thought they would be today. The ones that took the stock or the ones that took the options. Are those employees all able to dump their shares today? A portion of them. Now, some of those stock options that they receive have restrictions. They can't sell for 30, 60, 90 days, whatever. But some will be able to get out today and take that money and realize it and say, wow, I'm a millionaire. I'm a 10 millionaire. I'm a 20 millionaire. I'm a 50 millionaire. Now, that's not common. Now, a lot of these companies, a lot of people believe you go to work for a company, you pay your dues, that thing goes public, and then you're a millionaire. Well, we're going to find out very soon. Many companies, tens of thousands of companies, don't get that far. Their employees don't get that. A lot of companies go bankrupt. Their employees actually lose things like pensions. Happened to GM. So when we see these success stories, I remember back in the 90s, I was just a kid in high school, and everybody was saying, oh, just go to work for a company. You got to get into a tech company. Work for a tech company, get in there, get the stock options. When they go public, you'll make a fortune. That's what everybody thought. Everybody, when I came out of high school into college, the number one major was MIS, Management of Information Systems. I don't even know if MIS even exists anymore. Everybody wanted into that field. You're going to see more of that. There's going to be an uptick of engineers like you won't believe. AI specialists, all of it. Is it real? Well, the money's very real. Ask those Microsoft secretaries. There's a few of them that parlayed it into just amazing wealth, staggering wealth. So what I'm saying is there's going to be a lot of hype, and there's going to be a lot of people that are saying, I want to make $1 million too. I want to be a millionaire. Don't try to be a millionaire today trading. Be a good trader today. Don't get swept up by the frenzy. Don't get the FOMO. And I know I'm laying it down for you here. I'm telling you, don't. Do be disciplined. Do wait for that opportunity. There's going to be a soft spot in this market. There's no question about it. You're going to see maybe a rush and then maybe a pullback and then maybe a stagnation. You're going to have an opportunity to make money today. Stick to your guns. Watch your risk. Stop yourself out. If it goes against you, if you're trading this thing on a 1-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, stop yourself out. Absolutely right. Now, you're not going to have time to think. The 4-hour dollar CAD or Euro CAD trade that we put out the other day, there was our buy signal on the 920 EMA crossover. We rallied. This is sort of the top, our target up here. I was looking for sort of a test up above 162. We hit 162, and now we pulled back. This is a 4-hour chart. There's a lot of time to think about how to execute that trade. A lot of time. If you're scalping SpaceX today and looking at a 1-minute or a 5-minute chart, you're not going to have that kind of time. Things are going to be happening fast. Don't get swept up in the frenzy. Stick to your guns. Be tough. Be a tough out. What I always say is make the market take your money from you. Don't give it. No donations. This might be the biggest no donation Friday of all time. No donations. This doesn't need it. You don't need to give it up to them. They have plenty of money. They have 1.7 trillion, 75 billion. Don't throw your money away. Be smart about what you do. Have a goal going in, and then go in there and get it. So we're still waiting on this thing to drop. More than likely, I'm going to be back during the mid-session to cover the price action live. We're going to break it down with all the technicals. Still watching Tesla at $399, 400. Okay, that's fair. Google up a little bit, not moving much. Sats, I think Sats could be the biggest mover and shaker right here. EchoStar, be watching that if you're looking for a proxy trade. We'll cover the Musk umbrella, Starlink, and things a little bit later today. RKLB 117. This would be my pick for a prime takeover candidate. I think that you potentially could see this happen. Maybe announced in the first year, maybe in the first 6 months. Depends on how aggressive SpaceX wants to be. But these are big-time movers and shakers. Nasdaq right now just in complete flat rotation. Be very careful there. Let me see. Z, QQQ. If there is a 15-day flipping policy, who is selling SPX? I hope that sort of squares it up. You can see some institutions. Your broker may or may not let you flip it. If you're trading CFDs, that's what I'm talking about. CFDs, you can pretty much jump in and out of them. Watch yourself. Let me see. What do you think the effect in gold? Somebody always wants to know gold. Trade and Ibril. Gold. All right, we'll cover gold. We'll cover gold briefly, but I'm not going to get too into the gold market because today it's just flat, guys. Here's a 4-hour 920 crossover. Don't really care about that too much for gold. Let's go ahead and I'll pull up my Fibonacci retracements. This is what I use to trade. I got a set of Bollingers. I got a 13-period EMA, and then we also use Fibonacci. So 30-minute chart here. Give me my gold market. There it is. Okay, so this was big. We almost had a late day scalp yesterday. Didn't quite get it. I have a moving average right there, a monthly moving average that's panning out to be a big deal. So if I was looking for a trade today, intraday, you can see right there our 13-period EMA is right there at 41.78. So if I was looking at 41.78s, probably that would be my late day scalp. Right now we're printing 42s. I would be looking right here, 5-minute chart. What could we do? The trade would be right there at 78. So let's go ahead pull up some demo dollars. Why not, right? Demo dollars never hurt anybody. What, did I have a short going there? I forgot about that one from last night. That's the beauty of demo. You don't really have to worry about it. It's not real money. But I'll tell you what, when we start dealing with real money, you better be dialed in. Right there, you're looking for a bid. I'd be bidding somewhere probably right on like 179, maybe even 180. That's a pretty good round number. Buy limit. Go ahead and put that thing at the market. And late day, you may not get it right now or soon. You may get a bounce off of that maybe on the U.S. Open. Take profit. You're probably only looking for about $4 or $5. I would be very conservative with it. And remember, these are demo dollars, so don't get too carried away with the leverage. That would be my level, though, that I would look at today. I don't see much of anything happening in gold. Gold is very flat. Gold's been a challenge. Gold has destroyed many a trader this year. That's something, that's for sure. Let me see. What's my take? Mike Graham, what's my take on RDW? Redwire Corporation. I tell you what, Mike, never heard of them. I don't have that Jim Cramer know every single ticker on the tape. I don't know that. Okay, so right here, interesting. Okay, 17 close. We're at 1661, and so now we're just sort of rotating around. I would be looking very closely, potentially at a long. I would be watching yesterday's high close. So if you do get that base, sort of that based open, that reality check open, and then trade up above that yesterday's high, then yeah. Now, as far as my macros, are we in a bullish or bearish trend? Well, this is an interesting type of a scenario. Excuse me. Big May for RDW. Spike low there, spike high. I use Fibonacci retracements. That's my weapon of choice. You see right there, we bounced directly off of that 15.25. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful hit on 62%. Love 62%. 38%, love 38. 62s, love it. Hate 50. Won't do business at 50. 78%, really like 78%. So anytime we're above 38% and above 62%, we have an opportunity potentially to remain within the current trend. So above those levels, I would definitely say that the uptrend is technically valid. It's technically valid. Not as strong as it was above 38%, but still, I mean, if I'm a bidder, I'm a bidder from 15.25 today. But be careful, if price does rotate hard beneath 15.25, You're going probably down to 12.16. We've also got that 13-week EMA dug in right at 14.12. That would be my zone. If I'm trading this today, I probably don't buy right now. I would look for maybe a test of that area down there. If you get a shot at that, you probably got a pretty good chance to the top side, that's for sure. Let's see. SpaceX will give no dividends for years. Good. That means they're churning all that capital back into the company. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. 168's your call. Wow. Fantastic. Let me see. Can you analyze the pre-IPO again? Until I've done that, honestly, we put about an hour into the analysis. Basically, we've just got to be ready. We've got to be ready for the odds right now for Polymarket. I remember those 150 to 200, about a 70% chance we open there. And then it was about a 56% chance that we close somewhere between 150 and 200. I'll be back during the mid-session. I want to see this price action. Honestly, I'm going to go trade it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and break and get a little bit of money down here at the U.S. Open. But I will be back during the probably mid-market, somewhere in there, probably a couple hours from now. I'm going to go live back on these platforms, and we can update it. I'm going to look at the technicals. We're going to look at the news. We're going to break down exactly what's happened. So we're looking for technical errors. We're looking for that market to be made efficiently. Can it happen? Can the market handle this kind of volume for SpaceX? We just don't know. We just don't know. That's for sure. When it starts trading, Cam, it's going to trade here. Supposed to start in about 9 minutes. I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a little bit later. Let's go, X. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. When does it start? It's coming. 15 minutes is coming. Bad news. Tesla's down 6%. Yeah, I'm watching Tesla closely. It's going to be an interesting thing. Let me see. I can't do the pre-IPO again, guys. I already did it. We got to get off here in a second, and then I'm going to be back on later today. Diamond hands for 10 years is the key. All right. Holden. I love it, Gareth. Holden. Buy and hold. Love it. A lot of folks got rich buy and hold. That's for sure. Silver holding better than gold. Silver's been an absolute train wreck. I can cover that later today, too, if you'd like. Hello, sir. Finance with Reshab. Good to see you, Finance. Welcome. Can you analyze the pre-IPO again? Nope. I'm getting spammed out there. 512, trade the action well. Absolutely, 512. That's my motto. None of your business. Thanks for the analysis. You're welcome, Elk. All right, guys. Right now, remember, you can trade. Get in there. You can trade SpaceX over on Switch Markets. They'd launched this offering. I got this email last night at about 3 a.m. my time, which was about an hour before I rolled out of bed today, 4 a.m. Mountain Time. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? That's early. Money never sleeps. You're damn right it doesn't sleep. Neither do we. When the action's there, we're there. SpaceX, Switch Markets, MT5, ticker symbol SPCX.US. 1 minute chart I'm looking at right there. As far as trading view or anything, the broader market listed on the Nasdaq, SPCX. That's what you're looking for today. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. Remember, live and ready to rock and roll, SpaceX. You can be up and trading with Switch Markets in about 5 minutes. It doesn't take very long at all. 5 minutes, got a reverse KYC program. You're locked and loaded. Theoretically, if you wanted to trade SpaceX today and you don't already have an account, you could get it up and running and ready to roll probably in time for the action. So definitely want to do that. Loki, can it go 500K? I'm going to talk about that during the mid-session. I could see SpaceX and the Elon Musk brand, umbrella brands, becoming the next Berkshire Hathaway. In order to do that, they have to start acquiring companies. And believe you me, they got some smart financial heads in that company. They are already looking. They've got the money now. They've got the direction. They're going to start looking to buy and consolidate that entire industry. We've already got one with that Rocket Labs. That's one that I think is ripe for a takeover. They probably are watching this stream going, Shane, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. We're never selling. There's a price on everybody. Everybody's got a price. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for right this minute. If you don't have any sound, it's probably on your end. We've been going for about an hour now. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I will be back. We're gonna get this initial price action. I want to digest what's happening here for an hour and a half, couple hours maybe. So I'll be back probably, I don't know, about noon Eastern, somewhere in there, maybe 11 Eastern. And we're gonna go ahead and check the pre-market out, get the action, and then we're gonna go ahead and dive into maybe some trade ideas. I want to see some headlines. I want to see some efficiency. A lot going on. A big day in the markets. Remember, up and trading with Switch at 5 minutes. SPCX.US is that CFD. Best of luck, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your money. I'm going trading. See you later. A quick one before our live stream starts. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we go live there every day trading the markets, covering world news, and talking through setups in real time. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next session.
Still doom scrolling? Brain rot taking over? You'll focus tomorrow, right? But what if tomorrow never comes? What if it all started with one small choice? The world won't wait for you. Opportunity is moving right now. One decision is all it takes to shift your momentum. Fuel your mind and watch possibilities open up. Small wins stack up, focus sharpens, growth begins. Everything changes the moment you focus. Lock in and make the switch today. Bring your ambition into focus.